Hi, this is me, MC of Healthy by George. And today I'm talking about the power of habits in helping us lead healthier and stronger lives as we get older. Please think about subscribing. I would love to see you here every week on Fridays or Sundays where we can have conversations about how we're working towards a healthier self every day to be the best version of who we are as we get older into our much older years. So, I've been part of the medical community for over 30 years and doing research. And one of the things I do know is that health is never just something that stands still. It requires daily engagement, and that's what I'm working towards. And I hope you're working towards it as well. But today, I want to talk about The Power of Habit, which is a book that Charles Duhigg wrote quite some time ago. And the truth of habit is so key. And if we can really recognize what drives habit for ourselves, we can change things. We don't have to be whatever it is that we do all the time. We can observe what it is that we like and we don't like about our behavior and figure out what's working and what's not. I know for me, if I'm not thinking about how I walk indoors, I revert back to the habit of walking with a limp. So now what I'm trying to do is be more mindful and aware to make sure that I am being intentional with how I'm placing my feet, how I'm balancing myself, and I intentionally work with myself every day for just a few minutes between each of my meetings or take a break or whatever, and walk intentionally indoors where I focus on balancing and creating a stronger sense of myself standing upright, which truthfully I haven't been able to do for over a year and a half. So finally to be able to feel stronger, to stand upright and not have a considerable amount of pain is tremendous. But it was a habit to protect that side of my body. So now I need to do things that give myself a cycle of a cue to get up, to walk intentionally, to do this as a routine so that I become more familiar physically of paying attention of where I am in space, walking upright, and then reward myself. My problem is I always have troubles with rewards. When I think of rewards, I think of cookies or some kind of treat. That's not going to go with my diet loss, so I have to figure out other things. So I'm still working on the reward part. I gave myself a facial a weekend ago, and that was a nice reward, but I can't afford a facial all the time. So I'm looking for simple rewards, and so I've come up with stickers. I'm buying myself some stickers where I can put a heart sticker whenever I take a break and I do the walk intentionally in the apartment for a few minutes. I can come back and put a sticker right after that process. So I'm giving myself an award, a reward of some kind. Now, yeah, it's silly, I know. But truthfully, I think once I do so many of them, then I'll say, okay, you've earned a bigger reward because you did so many. And then maybe I can give myself a gift of something bigger, like a massage, or go back and have another facial, or buy myself a pretty dress or something, or some shoes that I'm looking for, or whatever, some kind of reward. And everyone's reward is their own thing. Every person has their sense of what is a reward. So, what habits are you working on? I'm working on two: increasing my exercise, and one, being intentional how I walk with that exercise. So, I'm really working hard to incorporate mindful exercise, walking every day, both outside and inside. And then the other thing is not so easy to get rid of. It's called wanting to eat a dessert after every meal. I don't know what the problem is. I have a sweet tooth that is horrible. I don't know what it is. I want dessert. What can I say? I always want to have some kind of dessert, just a little something after a meal. So I found these almond cookies. They're only like 150 calories for four. And really, the truth is, I just want a couple. So I'm going to try these new almond flour chocolate chip cookies that I can have two for 75 calories as my sweet treat after a meal. And even if I eat four, then I'm okay. It's 150 calories. I found that. And I also found this cereal by Cashy Go that's really yummy. And it's 10 grams of protein and 10 grams of fiber. And the one that's like a Cashy Go, I think it's the one that's a berry flavor. It's so delicious, man. And it's a little high in calories. I think it's 200 calories for 3/4 of a cup. And who's going to eat 3/4 of a cup? I'm going to eat a cup. Come on. So 200, so it's 250 calories for a cup. Okay. But it's delicious and it tastes good as a topping on top of your yogurt, as a cereal. I ate it, yeah, on top of my cottage cheese. It was just such a good, crunchy, delightful, low sugar, high fiber, high protein cereal that I really like. So that's key. The Kashi Go, and now trying to get rid of, I don't know what kind of reward I'm going to have to give myself to reduce the treats here. One of my big treats that I absolutely adore is this frozen yogurt. That's a frozen ice cream yogurt that tastes like lemon. I'm addicted to it, and I really can't stop at like one serving. It's let me eat the whole 12 ounces. Just forget it. I just adore it. And so whenever I think, oh, this has been a hard week, let me have my Tart frozen yogurt. No, somebody should slap me. So I'm working hard because that's really too much sugar all at once. Really, and sugar is something that is the evil of all of our health. We don't need sugar. We never have to have sugar. It's something that's not a requirement of our nutrients. So we really need to figure out ways to keep the level or amounts of sugar in our diet as low as possible. But man, if you have a sweet tooth, which I do, breaking that habit of craving sugar, I'm still challenged by it. Even though I know that it's this cycle of acute. So I really have to think about that. When I crave sugar, here are the replacements that I've selected. Don't think about it. Don't overthink about it. And then maybe I need to give myself a different sticker when I choose something different other than the big sugar hits that I've done in the past. It's not simple, basically, because I have emotional eating issue, and I'm still working with that. So we all have to work within the frame of our own challenges and the habits that we have that we don't feel support our long-term goals. So doing something different towards those habits to build new habits every day is critical. And I think the more that we enjoy whatever the reward is for the habit, the more we can make that habit an automatic response. So I really recommend, if you haven't read The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, I can't recommend it enough. He has several other books too that are quite powerful, and I'll talk about them later because it's one about communication, which I think is tremendous. And the other one is, I think it's about smarter, faster, some kind of learning process that is allowing ourselves to do things more efficiently. So be my friends. We have this one precious life. Let's live it to the fullest, doing things that keep us happy, thriving, healthy, and functional well into our much older years. And please think about subscribing. I'd love to see you here every week where we can share and communicate about how we're doing those things daily to help ourselves grow older and stay healthy and capable as long as we possibly can. Okay, my friends, we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift. and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.